and the topic for today is enjoy the journey. So, tell a little story on myself. My journey to becoming a doctor, a physician, started, I could say, in high school when I thought, I think I'd like to be a doctor. I was a pretty good student, and I was motivated with, helping others. My parents were missionaries in Africa where I grew up. My grandparents on both sides, clergy, served in the church. So that's really all I knew, was service to others, and I really was intrigued with medicine. So come college, and it was a battle. I finished high school in Africa, in Swaziland, and came to the United States to go to college. Landed in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I did my first year, and it was brutal. In fact, we had 800 freshmen, 600 of us were pre-med. You see, when we toured colleges, they told us that 100% of students who applied from Kalamazoo for medical school were accepted. Well, if you want to be a doctor, that's a slam dunk, no-brainer, right? So I guess 600 of us fell for that story. And in our first week as a freshman, we had a huge assembly for pre-med. And they said during that assembly, count 10 to your right, 10 to your left. 1 out of the 20 of you will get a recommendation from our committee. And 100% of those who receive a recommendation from our committee gets accepted into medical school. So the twist was they left out that recommendation part, or if they said it, it was in such a flurry that I missed it when I was a high school kid, looking at schools. Anyhow, long story short, I moved to the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. It was a great move. I pretended I wasn't pre-med and just a pure biologist, and that worked out well for me. I was able to get really good grades, and eventually, after getting a master's degree in biology and retaking the MCATs, I was accepted into medical school, where I went to Dartmouth Medical School. But that journey from high school into medical school was a 6-year journey, and then you add 4 years of very rigorous studies. In medical school, the first 2 years, you spend pretty much 7 or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week in the classroom or the lab, and then you're expected to go home and do a boatload of studying and homework. So it's beyond a full-time job, very little spare time. And then you finish eventually those 4 years, and I'm at my graduation ceremony, and I remember being proud my parents were there, and I'm holding this piece of paper, but in my heart I was thinking, that's it? After this amazing struggle, that was it. And there was this huge emptiness in me, just feeling like, really? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very glad I went to medical school, and I'm very glad that I worked hard for it, because it's a wonderful life. I mean, I am so blessed to do what I do. Most of you know I'm a pediatrician, so I work with children and parents who obviously love their children and care for them. That's why they're there to see me. I couldn't ask for a better profession, or, to get up every morning, and I look forward to going to work. But the message for this little session this morning is enjoy the journey. I didn't know that at the time, and so in a sense every day was a struggle. Now, I could have worked just as hard with a mental little tweak of just do your best and let go of the results. In other words, enjoy the journey. To some extent, live in the moment. And I think that's something lacking for those of us who have the sort of Western upbringing that I had, for sure. We just don't live in the moment very much. We're future tripping a lot, or in a lot of cases, some people are living in the past. So live in the moment, enjoy the journey, and I think you'll find your life is much more manageable, enjoyable, less stressful, and I hope that's helpful. I'm Dr. Paul. Thanks for watching.